Hello, guys. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing great. I'm doing great. I'm not coming on camera today because, gosh. So I've pre-filmed this whole video you're about to see, and the intention was to get my together and, do a proper intro, but I want to get this edited because I have about three videos that I need to edit. And so I'm just doing a little fast and dirty, or quick and dirty, whatever you call it. Video introduction. So today we are starting with the process of consolidating, repotting. I have so much to do today, and one super shocking thing that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in watching, by all means. I can't look around like I normally do because there's a lot of changes that you may or may not even notice. So I'm just going to stay here. Actually, I'm basically pointing at one right now, but I don't think I mentioned that in the video. So look at Jose. No, I think I did mention that in the video. No, I didn't. Oh my God. I potted Jose and the soon to be named, hopefully, the smaller of the two into the same pot in this gorgeous, like charcoaly gray pot. And I think they look fabulous. They look fabulous. And they were just getting too big and growing so fast that I had to do something. So that's what I did. Anyway, wow, that went sideways. Anyway, so today we're going to do some plant chores. We're going to get to some stuff that I've been putting off for years. I'm not exaggerating. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in watching, then stick around. For those of you who are new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Nicki. Here's my face, on a normal day. Just pretend that's me talking right now. Yeah, my name's Nicki. This is my channel, Plants, Pots, and Whatnots. This is a hot mess. For my GFPs, my gluttons for punishment who keep coming back for more to watch this kind of shenanigans, you guys are the real heroes, and I love you to bits. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing today. Also, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. It's a huge help for myself and my channel. Also, if you enjoy watching my videos and you were subscribed, please check and make sure you're still subscribed because, as we know, YouTube loves to unsubscribe people from other people's channels all the time without their knowledge or consent. So make sure that you're still subscribed should you want to be. Also, go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. Here's my Instagram account. This is an example of the things that you will see over there. I post on there almost daily. I try to post on there daily, just updates, things that come to my brain at the time, plant things, all kinds of things. So, yeah, go check that out over there. Okay, let's just get into the plant chores because we got a lot to do. Okay, so the first thing that I did this morning, I did this off camera, and I figured, I probably should start recording all of these things because some people find plant chores and how, other people handle their plants and what people do with their plants interesting. So I always have to remind myself to do that because I am notorious for just waking up and doing things and then not thinking about you guys, which is so selfish of me. Anyways, so these are some cuttings that I had mentioned in a previous video that I had taken and I was waiting for them to root, and then I was going to plant them all together in a pot. So I've done that. They've all rooted fairly nicely. They've got at least 3 to 4 inch roots, some longer, some a little bit shorter. But I think they're at a point now where they're going to do well in here. So I actually have 4 different Varicosum cuttings. They're so beautiful. Hopefully the camera is picking that up. Probably not very well. But anywho, so I've planted these 4 in this pot. Now, some people might say it's a little bit big of a pot, but I say, no, it's not. So the reason that I figured that this is a good size pot for these, even though they're quite small, is number one, they have pretty good roots. Some of them are about this long. Also, there's 4 plants in here. so that'll give them enough space to each grow their own independent, nice, healthy root systems. And also, this was rooted in water, these plants. So if for the time being, the soil is staying more moist than, say, like a mature, fully rooted in soil plant would, it's not the end of the world, because these roots are more used to being a little more moist. So for the first probably month or so, I'll probably keep it a little bit on the moist side, and then just kind of slowly kind of gear it down to the rest of my collection, if that makes sense. Anyway, so it's super cute. Pot of Varicosum. We have to find a spot for this now. But these were ones that were in my greenhouse, and I love Varicosum so much I couldn't bear to get rid of them. I also am going to be cutting down my big Varicosum because of spider mites. I lost about 2 feet of leaves on the main stem, and it just looks ridiculous. So that's a story for another day, though, because we're worrying about getting all these little things done so that we can do the big things. So anyways, we'll move this aside. And I think my next order of business will be I've got to clean out the stuff that's in that cabinet, like I said. So I'm going to bring over my 2 white princesses, my white princessi, and we will figure out what we're going to do with them. So I'm going to go get those, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to have to lighten this in editing, but this is the best I could do for working with the backlight. But these are my 2 white princesses. This is the first one here. Oh, it's so hard to see. Oh no. Anywho, she's really pretty. And then I have this taller one that hopefully you can see here. Let's see. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of aerial roots here, and I tried to air layer it down here. I still have to take this off and see if we got any root. But likely what I'm gonna do, well, it'll depend on if there's roots in here, is I'm gonna cut it here, bury it right down into the new pot, because clearly we have a lot of empty stem, and that's not attractive. So that's the plan for this guy. I think, yeah, I've got enough soil to do that. So this is my soil mix. It's, you can't see that. It's, there we go. It's bark and perlite heavy, which is what I love. So it's probably like 40% soil, and then like the rest is like half and half perlite and bark. And I think this is a fir bark that I'm using. Can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's a fir bark. So anyway, the first order of business is to take this off, and let me see if I can zoom in, if we can get a better, that's a little better, right? Sure. Whatever lets you sleep at night, Nicki. Okay, can we see that? Okay, we're gonna take this off and see if there's any roots under here. If there is roots under here, I'm gonna cut it down here. If there is not, then I'm gonna cut it probably about here, and then just use these roots to put it in soil. Let's see what we got. Not much. All right. You know why there's not much? Because I suck at air layering. And the reason that I suck at air layering is because I forget to keep the moss wet, and it's not really conducive to growing good bare roots, cereal roots. So let's, I gotta get my snippers, because that's a pretty thick stem to be cutting with scissors. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and probably cut it about here that's between two nodes. And look at that. She's actually like rooted right onto the pole. Now, I will say, I want to make mention of this now while I'm thinking of it, in case I don't circle back to it. In one of my last videos, I had mentioned about moss poles and not needing to water them because I said a lot of philodendrons, I didn't say all philodendrons, don't really care about gripping on, and a lot of them won't. I have some that do, which is why I didn't indicate all of them don't. This one in particular, you can see it hasn't dug its roots in, but they have gripped on. So these aerial roots have a really cool way of like sticking to things. I will say, I think I watered this moss pole the day that I installed it on this plant and have never watered it since. And as you can see, it is still stuck. Like it's not holding on to anything. You can see if I do this, it's just gripping on there. And this plant would have done fine had I just had it, you know, secured with just a bamboo stake or something like that. But I mean, they do like to grip onto things, but this is one that will actually like grip on. So you could use moss pole, you could use a plank of wood or, you know, whatever you've got. And this guy will kind of grip on and, you know, have a heyday. So now I feel badly because I have to rip her off of there, but because it's moss, it won't really damage the plant. It's just gentle. Where is she? Oh, there's a root behind here that actually did go right into the moss pole. Look at that. But again, like I said, I didn't wet this moss pole. So don't kill yourself. I don't know if you can see this, if I can get in close enough. Oh. Oh, the backlight is real. Okay, I'll try to lighten it as best I can. In any case, this guy, I'm just gonna have to kind of wiggle her until she comes free. Oh, she's in there good. Anyway, like I was saying, don't kill yourself about watering moss poles. It's really not that big of a deal. Oh my goodness. Oh, she is in there, man. Wow. Where did, oh, there we go. That one I had to snap right off. That sucks. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut them because I really just don't want to damage the plant trying to do this. There we go. So hopefully you can see it a little bit better now. Oh, I forgot I was zoomed in. There's the top. You can see she does have a lot of spotting, speckling. Let's see if we can focus. That is because this plant had thrips, and that is a sign of thrip damage. And it's ugly, but the new leaf is nice and spot free. So I'll deal with this after. I'll probably end up cutting it into nodes. Yeah, everybody loves a good white princess, so. Okay, so there we have this one. Just gonna clean her up a little. She looks pretty good. I'm gonna give her a little rinse. Oh, while simultaneously making an absolute mess. Let's go back down here. There we go. We'll just lay her on the rack there. She can have a little dry off sunbathe moment. Okay, now we have to deal with this one. Now this one is low enough on the stem. There's leaves low enough on the stem, and there's also 2 shoots. You can see that. There's one coming off the side here. So this is one plant, and then this is the other one. So I am going to, goodness, I think actually what I'm gonna do is cut, because there's roots here for this guy, and there's lots of roots here for this guy, but this is very, very thin. So I can't replant it way down here because this part's just going to topple over and break. So I think I have to break this into 2 plants, which is fine. We'll just have a nice full plant of this beautiful white princess. So let's go ahead and do that first. We're going to cut this part off as low as we can get it. Let me take... So hopefully you can see what I mean there by this part being too thin. If I cut it here, or if I just repotted it exactly how it is, it can't support itself. Because this part is thicker, what I can do, and there's lots of aerial roots here, is I can cut it and then have 2 separate plants, because this isn't gonna be supportive. Cut it right there. So there's one. Look how pretty she is. Yes. Yes. And then we'll have this one as well that I'll unpot and put into the same pot. So we'll do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to give her a little rinse off. Start her off in the best possible health. Oh, why do I do this to myself? Seriously. White princesses are amazing for growing aerial roots. They just grow absolutely everywhere. Similar to like a Jose Bono, if you've ever seen Jose Bono's aerial roots, they'll grow right up the previous petiole and run right along. Let's see if I can show you this. My Jose does this a lot. You can see how it's running right up through there, and they'll just kind of come out beside the leaf. They're really cool. Okay, so there's that one. That's going to be a beautiful plant. Look. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, and then once I get this one unpotted and all that old soil off, I'll give her a rinse off as well. Yeah, so now we have to figure out what pot we're going to put her in. I don't know if I have any white pots left, but I want to put her in a white pot. Oh, the struggle is real. I think I might have one downstairs. Okay, I'm gonna go check and see what pot I've got for this guy. I'd really like to put it in a white pot because I think, you know, white princess in a white pot, and because I am switching or trying to switch a lot of my pots over to like white or gray. And yeah, okay, whatever, Nikki. I'll be right back. I'm gonna find a pot. Okay, so I was just talking for a while and realized I wasn't recording. So anyway, I topped up my soil while I was downstairs. I have a bin that I keep my soil in, one of those really big totes. And then I have these really amazing IKEA bins, and I'll put a picture here so you know what I'm talking about. And in each of those, I have perlite, I have bark, and I have charcoal. And so I'll go down and I'll fill my bucket part way with soil, and then I have a little scoop in each of them, and I just scoop in whatever I want, stir it up, and then I bring my bucket upstairs. It keeps it out of the way and manageable. And so that's what I do. Anyway, soil, whatever. Okay, while I thought I was recording, I unpotted the smaller one. I'll show you that in a second. So this was the pot that I originally thought maybe I would be able to use, but by the time I get all 3 of these plants in here, I think it's going to outgrow this pot much too quickly, because these guys really do put the roots out. So instead, I brought up this pot, which is a little bit larger than I'd like, but I know that it's going to grow into this pot quickly. It's not white, and I thought I had another white pot, but apparently I don't. So I guess I'll have to get on that. So we're gonna have a terracotta pot, but it is what it is. So first thing I want to do, let's get some soil in here. All right, let's see how far we're up. We're gonna have to kind of put some soil in, put one plant in. I want to pot it fairly low so that it has a nice solid base to start from. So I think that's probably good. And then it's gonna kind of give it a little bit more of a bushy look. And hopefully we can hold on to the bottom leaves. But I think doing all of this is going to make my collection more manageable, which in turn will allow me to be able to pay closer attention to individual plants, which is really the overall goal, which I want. It was getting to the point where I just had too many plants that it was becoming extremely difficult to keep all of them nice, you know what I mean? And keep them all as healthy as they should be. And that's not fair to the plant. And it's funny, actually, I was scrolling through YouTube last night after I finished some other stuff that I was working on. And there is multiple people posting, you know, similar videos to mine right now. It seems like everybody's kind of in the space where they've realized the error of their ways. They realized that they went a little bit hard with the plant purchases and are now trying to come to terms with how to manage, you know, a 2 to 300 plant collection. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, and we don't realize it at the time, but it becomes unmanageable, you know, within a couple years, and it's a little crazy. Okay, I think, sorry for my fat head. I think I'm going to use this pole for the middle. I need to get an extension from this one. This is a pole that I got from, oh, I have to unpot the whole thing because it's got a base on it. This is a pole that I got from Trofolia. They have these amazing self-watering moss poles. So if you're the type of person that doesn't like to make moss poles, I'm gonna set her in the sink for now. This is a great option. And it's also really easy self-watering. So I gotta loosen up the sides here. I think what I'll actually do is probably pot, maybe not. No, maybe. We'll see. I might pot this in with that as well. You're not gonna see it as much because of the other foliage, but it will eventually obviously grow leaves again. Maybe I'll cut it down just a little bit. I think I saw, yeah, there's an activated node right here. So if I cut it to like here, I can propagate these nodes. And then if you can even see that, yeah, you can. And then this part will grow. So there'll actually be like 4 plants in there. That'll be kind of nice. We'll see how that goes. Okay, let's get her out of here. So when I'm doing this, I kind of hold the pole and the plant to it, and I just gently wiggle it out. Oh. She doesn't have a crazy deep root system. She does have a lot of roots though. Ooh, you're in there too, aren't you? Okay. These are their Trofolia's mini moss poles, and they're like a smaller base, whereas some of the larger ones have the bigger base on them, but these are meant for like a smaller plant. And this will be, oh my God, there's roots grown right into the inside of the pot. Oh boy. In through the holes. Oh, we lost a little bit of root. Not a big deal. Okay. Oh, you know what? I really should have put this in the pot before. Oh, Nicki, what are you doing? Let's see if we can. I'm an idiot. I don't want it too deep though, so maybe we can get it. Whoops. I don't know. We'll see. I wonder if that'll work. It's kind of sitting on top of the soil that's on the inside, but once I put the soil around the outside, I think it'll be okay. It might settle. I don't know. It's an experiment. Let's see what happens. I gotta kind of move these so that this may be a really stupid idea. Let's see what happens. I could make a moss pole that would more appropriately fit this, but actually, okay, so here's my thoughts. I hope you can, oh, you can't really even see what I've done here. Nicki, zoom in. So anyways, I'm thinking that maybe even with doing it like this, as long as it doesn't destabilize, once I go to change this pole out and put a larger one in here, with this not being buried right down to the bottom, it may actually be easier to do that. That's the hope. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's go ahead and put this one in here. Oh, okay, we're gonna have to put that over there. Can go right there. We'll get these all tied in afterwards. And I thought I had one more. Did I not? Did I? Oh, I was gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna clip that little top piece off here. Where was that node? There it is. So I'm gonna cut right above that node. And then this, you can see that lovely variegation in there. Anyway, we'll cut this into nodes and then grow some more. But this I'm just gonna tuck right down in here. It's not gonna look super pretty just yet, but eventually this will grow new leaves and then it will be beautiful. This big full pot of a white princess. Lovely. Okay, where are we at? Can you go on that side? Sure can. All right, this weird stick is gonna look odd for a bit. I'm trying to get it in there so that it's as discreet as possible. Okay. All right, let's just backfill it up a little. we go. Doesn't she look pretty? All right, I'm going to, I'll take her off here, give her a little bit of a water, settle everything in there. This is just my water with liquid dirt. There, we'll give her some time to drain all out here. And hopefully by doing this, so we've not only condensed 2 plants into one, but now I'm gonna have this bigger, fuller, beautiful plant. And the White Princess, if you don't have one, it's definitely worth the hype, I would say. This is one plant that is worth the hype. It is not like a Pink Princess where you, I should do a video on this. It's not like a Pink Princess where you kind of struggle with variegation. It seems to be very, very random. Like for example, I have this like almost all white leaf with some green. But then the next leaf was green with this, I don't know if you can see it from there. It's got a lighter chunk, like almost like a minty color. But it's really, really nice. The plant is 100% worth the hype. Now I don't have a white knight or a white wizard, so I can't really speak to those two. But I can tell you that the variegation on these ones seems to be much more stable than a Pink Princess. So if you can get your hands on one, if you like white variegated plants, this is an absolute amazing choice to go with. And I believe you can find White Princess for cheaper than the wizards or the white knights. Don't quote me on that. I haven't looked at plant prices in a while, but I believe that's the case. Anyway, so this guy's done. I'm gonna go ahead and let her drain out for a little bit while I have a couple sips of coffee, and then we will go see what plant we can harass next. Okay. Okay, if you guessed deal with my Monstera Dubia, you would be accurate. I've been talking about doing this for at least a year probably, and it's time. So I don't know what to expect here, but I do expect that it's going to be a bit of a shit show. Pardon my language. So let me see if I can get you in a little closer. All right, so as you can see, the roots are a little crazy. The roots from up here have wound themselves around the bottom of the pot. You can see that there. And so I think it's going to be a little tricky to get this out. I imagine there's probably not a lot of, oh, I can feel them. Oh boy. It doesn't feel like it's going to be too difficult to get out though. The trick with doing this is that I don't want to take it, I don't want to move this, like this metal stand, because this board is resting on it and such a mess. And I can't, like everything's stuck to it. Like it's all stuck. So what I kind of have to do is finesse it out without, oh my God. Okay. Let's move this. Do you see why I've been avoiding this for so long? Okay, first of all, let's unwrap all of the roots from the pot. Okay, this is one aerial root. Check that out. We'll set him up here for now, out of the way. God, I have to be so careful. I'm trying to get as close as possible so that I can prop this up. This is crazy. Oh, there we go. Okay. Wasn't so bad. It could have been worse. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna try to, there's a lot of root. It's a lot of root. Now wonder. Get some of that off here. So this little teeny green one here, that is the original stem. Is that not wild? So I'm gonna gently try to very, very easily just loosen the ones that will easily come loose, just to give them a little bit more of a fighting chance here. I'm very, very excited and curious to see what the outcome of this will be. Is this going to solve the problems that I've been having with getting this Dubia to continue growing up the wall? I think so. But I've never been in a situation like this. I've never had one this large. So who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But it can't hurt. At least that's the theory. There's little to no viable soil left in this thing at all. I'm digging some out of the center. There we go. Only lost, oh, I thought I lost a root, but I didn't. Oh my goodness, this thing's crazy. All right, so I'm going to, oh! I'm going to put the new pot here. Okay. We'll put all of the roots down in there. Okay. That, I don't know, what do you think I should do with this? Should I put that down in there as well? I don't know. Maybe I'll just set it on top of the pot after it. I don't know what to do with that. I kind of want to, so it'll give it additional, you know what? It can't hurt. It was already getting water, right? That may be a mistake, but I don't think so. I've got them turned around. I think. Maybe not. Ah! Okay. We will do some serious backfilling and see how she goes. See how she grows. Hopefully, this is going to do the trick. Some nice, fresh aeroid mix. Oh, look at that. Are you not excited, plant? She's gonna be so happy. And we'll give her a good water. This old mix that was in here really has not been retaining water well, obviously. It was just sucking it up and it would be literally dry in about a day and a half. So this is going to solve that problem. Just try to tuck it down around the sides there as much as I can without compacting it too much. It's a really airy mix, so it should be fine. Lots of chunks. Okay, that will settle over time, so I may need to top it back up in the future here, but I'm going to grab the watering can and we'll just go ahead and I'm also going to sprinkle some pesticide granule on the top there. And I haven't seen a thrips on it in a while, but it did have some, so I'd rather nip that in the bud before we get it growing nicely again, and then it ends up with thrips. Sorry, I'm just in the kitchen pouring some water. Hopefully this thing doesn't disconnect on me again. Okay, got my water. Water got in. Yeah, we're still good. Okay, there's the water. And then my little granules. Oh gosh. I'll wreck things on the way by. All right. All right. There, we'll see how that sinks through first before we put any more in. What do you think? You think this is gonna do it? I really hope so. I don't know why I waited so long. Honestly, that wasn't so bad, right? Like, it really wasn't that bad. I don't know why I put it off so long. I think that was easier than repotting a lot of the plants that I've repotted recently. I had thought about putting that cutting in here that I took off the top, but I think what I might actually do, it's in moss right now. Maybe what we'll do now while we wait for that other plant to soak is to go ahead and take it out of the moss. I'll show you how I do that. And then get it in some soil and maybe find a place for it to grow up. I have a smaller little plank like this one. It's just a little shorter that we can maybe use for that one and get it growing somewhere as well. All right, we did it. That wasn't so bad. It was okay. Oh, I feel much better now that that's done. So I will keep you guys in the loop. So make sure that you're subscribed with your notifications on, and I will kind of give you little updates as we go along to how this is doing, if it's making a difference, if we've gotten any new leaves. I'll probably also post those on Instagram, so make sure you're following me over on Instagram as well. And yeah, wait for the updates. I'm hoping it's a good result. I honestly think very similarly to my Queen Anthurium, is the problem really was that it just desperately needed to be repotted. And you could see by the root system in there and the lack of a whole lot of soil that it was time. It was time. So I just stuck this in this pot. Sorry, I'm still using my phone and it's not great. Anyway, I stuck it in this pot with some nice soil. I put this trunk in here. It's obviously not going to be able to climb up it for very long, but it'll give it a good head start. So I just thought I would show you guys that, so you know I just didn't leave it there and I actually did something with it. Okay guys, I know this video has been quite kind of sporadic, maybe at some parts. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The reason for that is I literally recorded for 2 solid days all kinds of plant chores that you will eventually get to see. But it was really hard for me to like put a cohesive string of videos together. And the reason for that is that my mic disconnected on me twice. And so it it wasn't a good scene. So anyway, I thought I would close out this video because I closed it out before, but it was for some other plant chores that I was doing. So you see this plant, and now at this point it's really out of context, so you'll see that later. But I thought this is we are a week later now. I thought I would show you the Dubia. It's still doing well, and so this is 1 week later, and if you can see that right there, it's got a new leaf coming. And we're gonna cross our fingers and toes that it actually just keeps growing and it doesn't shrivel up. And I don't think it will. I think we might have done it, guys. I think we might have done it. Success. So I will definitely keep you updated about that. I'm sorry that this video was it was probably a little more boring than usual. I just have a lot of things that I want to get done as far as consolidating my plants. I also had shot this whole video of me redoing my plant corner and taking down my greenhouse, and I ended up like hating the video, so I scrapped it all. But I will show you right now what my plant corner looks like. Okay, you'll have to ignore this stuff. I've been working from home, so I have like my whole setup here. But this is the plant corner. So we have our glorious there. We've got some of our hanging pots there. We have I repotted my squamiferum and my Florida Ghost into the same pot. So she's got a nice new big pot down there, and some new fresh soil, and they're looking great. We've got a brand new leaf coming right here, and we just had a glorious leaf open up there. We did have a little bit of a struggle with some humidity, which is why she came out a little bit smaller and kind of funky. But that's okay. She'll straighten herself out. She's got some nice light now. It may look a little dark, but it's really not in this corner. There, that's probably more of an accurate depiction of what it looks like. Excuse me. I'm not going to scroll down all the way because I do have a plant down there that I'll show you the repot of. That's kind of interesting in another video. And I also brought my epi over here, and I think we might have the mealybug situation under control. I've seen only one in the past week since it's been over here. I think with it being over here, I can keep an eye on it more, and I haven't seen any other than that one. So far so good. Excuse me, my goodness. Anyway, I also potted both of my syngoniums together, my chia pents, so they are in a nice pot with some new soil, and I restaked them up here so that they're not tipping over anymore. We've got a new leaf on the way there, and she's looking great. So that is the new plant corner. And once I get all my work stuff out of here and move all of the junk here, it'll look much better. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that because that video turned out to be garbage. So here we are. I'm even debating this one. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, I'm sorry. There's just a lot. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just need to go. There's a lot that I have to do, and I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how to like show you guys all of the stuff I'm doing without it being like super dry. But anyway, I do have a lot of that stuff coming up. I also have a debatey type of video coming up. I asked you guys on here and on Instagram to tell me your hottest plant debate topics, and in the video we'll discuss both sides, and then I'll tell you what side I'm on. I got a lot of really great questions or comments, so we may have to even split that into 2 videos, but we'll see. I've got all kinds of stuff coming up. Anyway, I'm just gonna go wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for liking and watching and commenting and subscribing. If you're not subscribed already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is a huge help for my channel, and I personally really do appreciate it. I hope you all have an amazing and wonderful day, night, week, month, and year. I love you all to bitty bits, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!